What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Can you guys believe that basketball comes back in 2 days? Well, it's just preseason, but still. So, Wizards are one of those teams we're going to see on Friday. They get to play the Warriors in Tokyo, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So today, we're going to go ahead and come back with another realistic rebuilding the Washington Wizards as realistically as we can today. Before we jump right into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one. Of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Dropping a like and subscribing helps out the channel a ton, and we're on the path, on the road, 30,000 subscribers for the end of this year. Don't know if it's possible, but maybe you guys could prove me wrong. Always greatly appreciated. But regardless, when it comes to the Washington Wizards, I mean, I would say most people, doubt this team, right? Like, we don't expect much out of this team this year. This is going to be a very interesting team in the East that thinks they can do something. And again, these are not my words. I'm just kind of going off based off the general look of this team based off the public. A lot of people, I would say, probably don't expect much out of this team. They're going to be a play-in team. And again, this is not my opinion. I'm just saying what I think most people are probably thinking. So when it comes to Wizards, for me, I honestly don't know what I want to do with them today. I think it's going to be based off the 2K simulation is what I'm going to do. So if we're a good team and things are going well, then I keep Bradley Beal and I try to build around him. But if things are just going south and we're a bad team and we're just not getting anywhere, then I think you look at trading Bradley Beal. And of course, he has a no trade clause. So that will be interesting once we cross that bridge. So I'm just gonna, if I was a betting man in real life, I would say the Wizards are probably a play-in team at best. But at the same time, people are probably saying that same thing about my Blazers. So it's just kind of a, it's just one of those things where, it just kind of depends on your opinion. So when it comes to the Wizards, the starting five is going to look like this: Monte Morris, Bradley Beal, Deni Avdija, Kyle Kuzma, Porzingis is exactly what I would think the starting five would look like. You got Will Barton, Daniel Gafford, Rui Hachimura, and then Delon Wright. So I like this bench a lot, and I like this rotation. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. We're going to simulate season one. I really don't think I'm going to do much. I kind of just want to see, like I said, what this team is going to do without me really doing anything. And then based off what 2K, the simulation gives us, we're either keeping Beal or trading Beal and going full rebuild mode. So that's basically what we're going to do. I don't expect to make any changes at the trade deadline. We're also going to change our proficiency because obviously running defense is not what we need to do. We can be at 3.5 at 7 seconds. So we'll move it there and we'll simulate season number one and see how this goes. So season number one comes to an end, and Luka is your MVP. Jabari's Rookie of the Year. Simmons, 6th man. Giannis, Offensive Player. Jalen Noel, Most Improved in Minnesota. Coach goes to Doc Rivers. Unfortunately for us, if we go take a look at the standings, I imagine with the record we had, we're not in the play-in tournament, and that would be the case. So if you take a real quick peek at it, we actually went 32 and 50. So the 12th seed in the East, obviously not where we want to be whatsoever. That's just not really where, our goals are at. So it's really unfortunate that we had that kind of simulation and that record. So Bradley Beal averaging 29, giving everything he can. We still do not make the playoffs. I mean, I imagine that's going to have to, create a certain stigma with Bradley Beal and how unhappy that could potentially make him. But at the same time, he's expressed multiple times he wants to be in DC. So I'm not saying that if the Wizards don't make the playoffs, he's requesting a trade immediately. But some people would probably have that opinion, just like they have that opinion about Damian Lillard. It's like those two are almost comparable in a way. But regardless, simulating the playoffs, let's see what we got going on. And the Blazers making the Western Conference Finals, make it to the finals. So speaking of Damian Lillard and the Blazers, are they about to win a championship? No. But hey, he got to the finals. They got swept by the Celtics, though. So Celtics going to win the championship. Jason Tatum drops 44 in that game 4. But we got a huge offseason ahead of us. After not making the playoffs, what are we going to do? Chris Paul retires, Rudy Gay retires, and Thaddeus Young retires. But the draft lottery is going to be a huge first step to this process. I mean, we get to sit back, watch, and see where our pick falls. We are projected number 8. Hopefully that pick has some protections on it. I don't know at the top of my head what trade that's from. If I had to be if I could think real quick, I don't know, man. Someone's got to remind me. It's kind of hard to remember while I'm talking in the moment on what that trade's from. Maybe it'll come back to me here in a second, but for the life of me right now, I don't remember. Oh, is that from the Russell Westbrook John Wall trade? Maybe that might be from that trade. I don't know, man. I can't remember anymore. Raptors number 11. What? No. Yeah, because Russell. Am I stupid? I don't know, man. I'm just. Because John Wall, yeah, it is. I think it is. I think it's from the Russell Westbrook John Wall trade. Because John Wall was traded from the Wizards to the Rockets, and then Russell Westbrook was on the Wizards. So, but here we go, number 9. Can we get our pick? Are we going up in the draft? Nope, we get the 9th overall pick. So we are in the 9th overall selection. Thankfully, I was able to think on where that pick came from. Pretty sure that's probably from the John Wall trade, or that was part of the John Wall trade. So if we go to staff signing, we take a real quick look. Head coach wise, I would just like to keep what we had. So I'm going to just get Jamal Mosley back, I believe. Or no, it was Wes Unseld, not Jamal Mosley. My bad. So Let's go get him back. Wes Unseld. I mean, I don't see why they'd just fire him after a couple seasons. I mean, maybe they would. Maybe they would. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just going to keep him around, and then we'll sign our post-defensive coach. All right, so on draft night, we're going to clearly be drafting at number 9. That's clearly obvious. But do we pull the trigger right now on a Bradley Beal trade? We also have Porzingis, who's an expiring contract. Monty Morris is under contract. DeLon Wright's under contract. But we got quite a bit of young pieces that I honestly, like I said, I think I'm just ready to go full rebuild mode, man. I'm going to trade Bradley Beal. The one thing that is interesting, though, like I said, he has a no trade clause. So in real life, he'll be able to dictate where he goes. So he probably would want to go on a winning organization, I would imagine. So I can't just send him to, I'm just trying to think of a good example. I can't just send him to, let's say, I don't know, like the Kings, I guess. I mean, even the Kings wouldn't be a bad option, though. So we're going to find a trade partner for Bradley Beal and send him over there. That way, Bradley Beal is on a different team, and we get the best out of it that we can. So as of right now, I can't find a Bradley Beal trade, but we will revisit it in a second. But since we are looking to trade him, I've taken the Thompson twins, or I've taken one of the Thompson twins the last couple of times I've drafted. So kind of like the idea of taking Amari Bailey here. Now we have Johnny Davis or Amari Bailey, or we could take Cason Wallace as well. Ceiling is Stephon Marbury, and then floor Steve Kerr. So you know what? Give me a new point guard in Cason Wallace. Welcome to the Wizards, my friend. I'm going to take you with the 9th overall pick. We can have a backcourt of Johnny Davis and Cason Wallace and hope that turns into something for us. And then I'll just take this guy, Kevin Lawrence, I believe it was. So Cason Wallace was a 75 overall. Probably could have done much better. I could have drafted Amari Bailey. You also have Anthony Black and then like Phillips down here. So maybe I made the wrong selection, but I'm still excited about it. So Kevin Lawrence, I'm not going to sign. He's a 56 overall, so no need. And then Porzingis, Kuzma are both free agents. Avdia, Corey Kispert, and Vernon Carey are all coming back. Qualifying offers. Rui Hachimura is also, a qualifying offer as well. And then free agency, Porzingis. If we do get around to signing and trade him, that's what we'll do. But Will Barton, I don't plan on keeping around. But Porzingis, I would like to sign and trade if I can. But if not, we just move on. So again, I want to get Johnny Davis that starting shooting guard spot. They list him as small forward right now, which is interesting. For some reason, it goes down at the 2, but I am going to put him at the 2. So you have Wallace and Johnny Davis, hopefully, as your point guards this year. Then again, we're still looking to trade Bradley Beal. Then Deni Avdia and Corey Kispert at the 3. Power forward right now is kind of a question mark. And then you have Gafford and Vernon Carey. So still looking to trade Bradley Beal, though. And I'm going to try now that all the contracts are back under salary. You got like Boston, who I think makes a lot of sense, or just we got to find a team. We got to find a trade partner for Beal. That is my ultimate goal here. If I can send Bradley Beal over to the opposite conference and walk away with Josh Green and Jaden Hardy and then 3 future firsts for Bradley Beal, I would feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to offer this up. They do not agree to that. I would be okay with throwing in maybe another piece in this trade. Maybe like DeLon. Oh, I guess they can't take on DeLon Wright. So no DeLon Wright. Corey Kispert, no, I don't want to do that. Vernon Carey, I guess, not going to happen either. Maybe I have to reduce one of the first round picks. I'm not throwing in Gafford. Monty Morris would just make the salary not work. So unless we got rid of one of the first, I'd like 3, but if I can do it for, okay, so they wanted 2027 unprotected. They'll give me JaVale McGee. I mean, personally, obviously, I don't want to get above a first here. So let's try maybe just giving up like Anthony Gill. Again, they can't do it. I'll give you a couple seconds, I guess, trying to make this trade go through. See if they agree to that. They want a first round pick in JaVale McGee. I mean, whatever. If it's going to have to cost me my 2027 just to make this trade go through, I mean, it's a little annoying, but it is what it is. Unless I'm trade overriding, which I think I should get 3 first round picks. But regardless, 2K, it's kind of hard to make a realistic trade when you're trading away an all-star like Bradley Beal. So I'm going to make this trade where we get 2 young pieces and then 2 future first round picks. Unfortunately, ignore the part where we're trading a first round pick in 2027 because obviously you would never do that if you're in this situation with the Wizards, but hopefully we never even get to that point and it doesn't matter. So JaVale McGee will just be a bridge guy here for now, but Bradley Beal is out of here, and now we have our first round picks, and we have a couple young players to be excited about with Jaden Hardy and also getting Josh Green as well. So I'm excited about having those 2 guys, and hopefully one of them can be a really good rotational piece, or both of them, honestly. Hopefully Jaden Hardy will develop like crazy for us, and then I do want to send Monte Morris and DeLon Wright out of here as well. Maybe keep one of them as a kind of a veteran presence. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with that trade. Other than, obviously, I had to give up a first, which I really shouldn't have, in my opinion. Because you just don't do that when you're trading your all-star away. The Los Angeles Lakers are looking for more guard depth. They're going to give me Max Christie and a first-round pick for Monte Morris. Go ahead and accept that one. So Monte Morris is just another guy we get out of here. And I think DeLon Wright is going to be the point guard I keep around as kind of a veteran presence here. And then Jaden Hardy, Johnny Davis run our 2. And Avdia, Corey Kispert, Josh Green will run our 4. And then, honestly, neither one of these guys I plan on playing any minutes. And then center spot, just going to have JaVale McGee and Daniel Gafford. So this season, we're going to be pretty bad. There's going to be kind of like a Utah Jazz route where we're really bad. Porzingis, I'm not even going to worry about signing and trading. I'm just going to let him go. And then Rui Hachimura, I'm just going to try to get back on his qualifying offer. And we kind of revisit him later on and see how he kind of does on his qualifying offer. And then we can kind of decide whether or not he would be worth a long-term contract. And then Kuzma, forgot about him as well, but I don't plan on bringing him back. We're just going full rebuild mode, like I said. So Rui Hachimura is going to be the next guy I bring back. But we're basically tanking this next season in hopes of having a high draft pick. So Rui Hachimura does come back as qualifying offer, so we give him a chance to kind of prove himself. But yeah, this team is going to be probably really bad. It's just going to be a bad team. But Johnny Davis is going up, Hachimura is going up, Kispert, and Danny Avdia. So that's good to see. And then as far as Jaden Hardy, you got Anthony Gill, Josh Green. So we're going to have to fix the minutes the way we want it to be. But we have officially entered tank mode with the Washington Wizards after a disappointing season. And that's just kind of the route I wanted to go today. So the rotation this year is going to be this: Kaysen Wallace, Johnny Davis, Denny Avdia, Rui Hachimura, Gafford, Corey Kispert, Jaden Hardy, Vernon Carey, Josh Green, and DeLon Wright. So that's going to be your rotation, and that's what we're going to stick with. So obviously going to be really, really bad this year, but that's okay. As long as we have our draft pick, which I'm pretty sure we do. If we do not, then that's just, well, it says we don't, but hopefully my pick is protected in some way. I can look at that. And if it's not protected, then I just went a very, very stupid direction, and I should not have done that, but I'm pretty sure it'll have some kind of protections on it, so that's a good thing. But regardless, if it doesn't, then your boy definitely messed up. So that's something I should have researched before I did it, but regardless, it is what it is. So 3-star, 7-second system. We'll simulate this season. I don't expect much. Obviously, we're going to be a bad team, but it's the route we wanted to go, and hopefully we are top of the lottery at the end of the season. So with our contending roster, we almost won as many games as our contending roster. So we won 28 games this year. Last year we won 32. So I think it was definitely a good sign for us to, you know, rebuild and not stick with the roster we had last year. So these are your rewards, by the way. MVP does not go to Luka. It goes to Trae Young instead. Here's your all-NBA first team. I assume with Bradley Beal over in Dallas, that definitely obviously takes some pressure off Luka for sure. And then as far as player stats are concerned this year, I did, mess with some shot tendencies a little bit. So we had 16 from Kaysen Wallace, 15 from Johnny Davis, 15 from Avdia, and then 14 from Daniel Gafford. I mean, it's very clear right now, though. We don't have our star by any means. You know, no one's averaging 20 or anything like that, which I'm a little disappointed by. So we really don't have our foundation yet. We just don't. And it's just very clear here. I like Wallace and Johnny Davis, but is that my backcourt of the future? Maybe not. So let's go ahead. So with the playoffs, the Mavericks didn't even make the postseason with Luka Doncic and Bradley Beal, so that's got to be very bad for the Mavericks, which actually could be a good sign for us because don't we have their pick this year, which we do. So that's going to be even more helpful that we got a couple unprotected, and they didn't even make the play-in. So that should be good for us. Cavaliers going to win the championship, and then the Grizzlies lost them in 5. So retirement's got LeBron James, Iguodala retiring, Al Horford, Brook Lopez, Jeff Green. Straight to the lottery we go. I did also research that draft pick, and yes, the Wizards do have it. It is top 12 protected, and it looks like we're going to be in the top 12. So we're projected 2 picks in this lottery, so this is a great start to this rebuild. So let's get it. Let's see where we get in the lottery. We got to watch this one as well. We got to see if we can jump up and maybe get the number 1 overall pick in this draft. I feel like we have a good chance. You know, with 2 picks, you never know. Rockets number 13. They're going to stay that way. As long as no one jumps up, we should be in a good position to hopefully have at least a top 5 pick because we're projected 5. So Spurs number 12. So that's from the Charlotte Hornets. That's from that, I believe that DeJounte Murray trade, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that, because I believe that trade was sent in that, or that pick was sent in that trade. Number 10 for the Thunder is going to be Oklahoma City. So no surprises thus far, but this is where it could become a surprise. Can we jump up with this Mavericks pick? And we do not. So it's going to stay at number 9, but that's still solid. We'll definitely take that. So no surprises thus far, just like they said. Magic number 8. And, oh, the Magic jump up. So Kings land 8th pick. Then Kings, and I don't know what that last... I think that said 2 teams jumped up in the top 4. So that means we might have fallen far down, and we did. Wow. So 9 and 7 in this lottery. That's definitely very, very disappointing. The Jazz get number 1. Knicks number 2 from the Pistons. 3 from the Spurs. And 4 from the Magic. So obviously, I'm very disappointed. That is not good at all. Upset is an understatement, but you know what? We have to make the most out of it. So we just got to get what we can at 7 and 9 in this draft. I really don't know what to expect here, but obviously we got to just go best player available because we really don't have our number 1 guy yet. So it looks like Wagner and Xavier Booker go number 1 and number 2. And then after that, I'm not sure if anybody... What do we have left? We have Ron Holland. So Ron Holland, I guess, is somebody that He's got a ceiling of an all-star and then a bench player as a floor. You got, don't know how to say this guy's name, so I'm not going to pretend I know how. You got Mata, you got Edwards, you got Towns. I don't know any of these guys, honestly. So I'm just in no man's land right now. But I think I got to take Ron Holland here, I guess. 6'8", small forward out of Texas. And then with the 9th overall pick so far, Ron Holland was a 77. So it looks like that was a good selection. So we go, walk away pretty good. But I would have loved Booker or Wagner here at number 1 and number 2. But as far as number 9 is concerned, you have Juwan Reese. You got Sean Stewart, Dusty Hamilton. And then we have this guy still on the board. He's a shooting guard. Ceiling as a starter. Floor is Jalen Suggs, which they say bench. I don't know anything about this guy, but I do love this guy's name. Do I take him here? He's a 6'7", tall, 21-year-old. I don't know much about him at all, to be honest with you, but I kind of want to take him in a way. I really do. You know what? I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take... Don't know how to say his name, but I'm taking him out of Nigeria, and hopefully that was a good pick. I don't know if it was or not. Let me know, boys. We got Ron Holland, and we also got a 72 overall shooting. Okay. So far, this is clearly not a great start to this rebuild. I will be honest with you. So we walk away with Sagana and Ron Holland. I won't doubt him just yet, but we walk away with those two guys. Player options, Davis Bertans, I'm going to decline. Kispert, Johnny Davis, Jaden Hardy will accept. And then qualifying offers, Josh Green, Christie, and Denny Avdia. I do want Denny Avdia. And then free agency, I mean, we're not really looking to sign a big free agent. Rui Hachimura is a free agent, but hopefully Ron Holland is just the truth here. I mean, we got to expect something good. So can I move Ron Holland to the 4? And he stays the same. So I'm going to move Ron Holland to the power forward. And then Wallace will be the point guard still. Johnny Davis will be the 2. You got Jaden Hardy. And then you also have Sagana here, which we'll try to get him some minutes, I guess. If I move one of these guys to point guard, Sagana goes down. Jaden Hardy stays the same. So we'll move Jaden Hardy to the point guard, I guess, to have those two be the backup guards. And then we'll hope Holland is the truth. I do want to sign Denny Avdia to a long-term contract. I do like his outlook on what he could become here. But other than that, Josh Green, I mean, we got him in the trade, so I would like to keep him around, but it just kind of depends on what he's asking for. And then Rui Hachimura, I'll probably just let go. So I'm just going to wait for Denny Avdia. We'll give him an extension. Other than that, the rest of these guys, I'm not too concerned about. We're clearly not in a good spot yet. So $19 million over 4 years, not too bad. Or $19 million per year, I should say, over 4 years. Not too shabby. And then should we get crazy and sign a free agent? I mean, I kind of want to just roll with the punches. So I guess we should get a backup front court player. And we're going to just be looking to tank again, honestly. So Draymond Green, Jonathan Isaac. You got Isaiah Stewart, which honestly wouldn't mind Isaiah Stewart and Yeka Nkongwu, but he's asked for a lot of money. So we could definitely go give someone a payday. Like James Wiseman could honestly give us a different outlook here. He's unrestricted. We have Gafford right now. But Wiseman as like a center option who could maybe have a high ceiling for us. I mean, we got to give it a chance. We don't get free agents very often. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give James Wiseman a 4-year deal. He's only 78 overall, but hoping progression is on my side and he just progresses like crazy for us. So, yeah, definitely just gave that man a bag, but that's okay. We're going to go straight to player progression and see how that treats us. We got to find some diamonds in the rough here because right now we are just not on a good path. So Josh Green, all them back. Wiseman's up to 79. Abdia's up to an 80. Gafford's 81. Kispert, Johnny Davis, James Wiseman, Casey Wallace is, progressing. So the roster's progressing, which is a good sign. They should be. They're young players, but again, I'm just going to keep saying it. We do not have our number 1 option yet. Unless if it decides to be Ron Holland this year or something. But right now, I'm not seeing it. Well, we'll see if it does come to our face. Which, wow. If you listen to what I just said, I don't know why I said that. But let's go. Let's keep going. So Ron Holland actually won Rookie of the Year, averaging 15 points per game. So it looks like we might have found a really good player in that draft. LaMelo does win MVP. Ivy 6-man, AD defensive player, and AJ Griffin most improved. We're kind of going the patient route. Obviously, though, we have not made the playoffs. And actually, are we in the play-in this year? Because we actually had a decent record, and we are. So that is a good start or a good sign to this. So we had 16 from Johnny Davis, 15 from Denny Avdia, 15 from Ron Holland, and then 14 from James Wiseman, 13 from Wallace, and then 12 from Gafford. So we kind of have a collective group right now. Nobody's clearly standing out, but it's still a very, very interesting young group that we have here in Washington. I just kind of wish we had our number 1 option, like 25 to 30 point per game score already. But obviously, sometimes you just can't find that, right. I already kind of said it earlier, but sometimes it doesn't always show up in your face. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Hawks here. We do lose. That's fine. I'm happy to even be there at that point. So let's just have another good offseason where we're going to have a high draft pick again. And then we got to hope that we cash in again. So the Thunder go on to lose to the Cavaliers in the finals. But we're looking to make the playoffs this next year. We just got in the play-in tournament. I'm not going to sit back and watch this entire lottery this time. I don't think, well, actually, we're projected the Lakers pick, but I believe that pick was protected. That was from that Monte Morris trade, wasn't it? And that pick does not go to me. I think it stays with the Lakers. So Lakers get to keep that pick, and then we end up with number 13 in this draft. So we got to go ahead and jump into this draft and draft another good player, and that's that. So no draft pick from the Lakers, at least not yet. And then staff signing, I'm going to leave that all the same, other than I guess we got to hire a couple guys here. So let's get Phil Handy, and then let's get, let's say, I don't know why you can't find big man coaches out here. There's one, Dusty Randolph. We'll sign you two, and that's going to be your new coaches. To the draft we go, and we need to find, well, do we want to trade this pick, or do we want to go ahead and, I don't know, do we want to, like, get weird and just draft still? So 13, or I meant to say the opposite. Do I want to draft someone, or do I want to get weird and trade this pick? So if D, I'm keeping. Gaffer's making about $14 million a year. I do like him on this roster, but he is at 26 years old at this point. I mean, I could offer him up and just kind of see what pops up. We could move up to number 8 in this draft. We can get Michael Porter Jr. from the Nuggets. That could be interesting, but I'm just going to draft here. So let's jump into this draft at number 13, and let's just see what we can get here. So draft summary so far. I don't know anything about these guys, so I'm kind of just going in blind here. So let's just see what's available. I see Neil O'Neal, and that is a great name. I almost want to take him, but I also see Elton Tate. Nicholas, is there any clear other guy that I need to take here? 100%. Not really sure. So you know what? I'll take Elton Tate here. I don't know anything about this draft class, so if that was an L pick, I apologize. Out of Michigan State, seems like a real person to me, and we're going to walk away with a 74 overall. I should have taken Neil O'Neal, man. Wow, I should have known. He's got Shaq's last name. But I guess him being on the Magic makes sense. Brooke Carr is a 73 overall. We'll sign him. Player options, we'll accept those. Qualifying offers, Christie, Jaden Hardy, and Kispert, all free agents. Definitely wouldn't mind them all back. And then free agency, I mean, we could spend some money again, honestly, if we wanted to. We got restricted free agents here. So we have Wallace and Carr. We also have Johnny Davis, which I like that a lot. We have Denny Avdia, which I still love. Ron Holland had a great year. Then Gafford and Wiseman. So I guess clearly our forward spot, or even, you know, a point guard spot, could be kind of tinkered with a little bit. So if I'm looking out here and we see like Jalen Green, who's restricted, Donovan Mitchell, Scotty Barnes, got Josh Giddey, Brandon Ingram, Desmond Bane, Ben Simmons. I mean, there's a lot of good options here. You also got Franz Wagner. I mean, I wouldn't mind Franz Wagner in Washington. Jonathan Kuminga, we can try to steal from the Warriors as well. Herbert Jones. So there's some good options here, but man, is out of bag for Jonathan Kuminga. But maybe he deserves it. Has he been averaging like a, you know, what is he averaging? He's averaging 21 points per game. I mean, we can throw him a bag. I mean, the Warriors are expensive, so we might be able to steal Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know if I love him as my best player, but, you know, we can kind of just start stealing some of the Warriors players, I guess. Cade Cunningham, you got like Jalen Green. So if we get Jonathan Kuminga, I'd be happy. And the Warriors do match, which makes sense. So no Jonathan Kuminga for us. You got Barnes out here as well from the Raptors. We could try to steal him, I guess. I'll give it a shot. Scotty Barnes, I'll offer him a contract. Might as well try to get aggressive here. You know what? Josh Giddey. You know, I wouldn't mind Josh Giddey. We can sign Josh Giddey to do a deal as well. Just kind of, you know, try to sign a free agent. Franz Wagner as well. We can give him an offer. So, I mean, if we can get all three of them or one of the three, that'd be great. So we did get Barnes to accept, and I'm going to assume the Raptors match, Thunder match, and then it looks like, who did not match? Franz Wagner. Well, he's probably about to be matched anyway. So we've struck out on pretty much every restricted free agent we've tried to go for. Ingram's unrestricted, Desmond Bane. I just would ideally like someone, you know, I was trying to go for someone younger, but I guess being, you know, got OG Anunoby, which that just doesn't really do much for me, I think. So Okoro's here on Kongwu as a backup, but we don't really need that. So at this point, we might just be better off rolling with what we have. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sign my guys back. I don't really see anything I like. I like Ingram and all, but I don't know if he does too much. Jaden Hardy, I'm going to give a 3-year deal to keep around. And then Josh Green, or Corey Kispert, I should say. He's averaged, what does he average for us? He's averaged 9 on 40% from 3. Sure. I think, you know, guys that shoot well from 3 definitely get paid. So that is going to be our signings. This roster, again, is nothing special just yet, but just going to keep hoping for player progression to be on our side. And with due time, we'll be a championship contender. With due time. We tried to get some free agents to speed up the process. It did not work out. And we are still in good position to maybe make a trade here as well. Like, it's not impossible for us to go all in eventually. Ron Holland's up to a 79 overall, 78, then 76, and then Sagana's up to a 74. So you know what? Why don't we do it now? What is the wait? Why don't we go out there and get our trades to go through? Why not? Let's get it. Let's do it. Let's see who's available, and let's see if we make something happen. If not, I'll just see you guys at the end of next season because I didn't do anything. This is kind of crazy, but I'm trying to go for Paulo Banchero in the last year of his rookie contract. You know, most players don't get traded on their rookie contract, but sometimes you have those weird scenarios where rookies just get unhappy. You had kind of the Zion rumors that obviously never came to fruition, and then the Porzingis thing also happened. So we're trying to make something happen here with Paulo Banchero. We have a couple draft picks that are very valuable here, so I'm going to offer this trade to the Magic and see what they say. They do not agree to that, which is, you know, fair enough. I'll also throw in Ron Holland in here and see if that changes their mind. And we got Paulo Banchero here in Washington. So Paulo Banchero is our brand new power forward. So Ron Holland just had a great year for us. But basically, Wallace, Jaden Hardy, you got Max Christie, Johnny Davis, Daniel Corey Kispert. Now we got Paulo Banchero to be our brand new power forward. And then you still have Gafford and James Wiseman at the center. But I'm looking to upgrade even further. I like Paulo Banchero here, but I think we could make another trade. We're going for it now, basically. So Paulo Banchero, great addition here in Washington. I don't know why he would want out of Orlando, but he did, okay? So he's here now. Then the next simple move I'm going to make is send Daniel Gafford over to the Knicks for Mitch Robinson. Just a simple upgrade at the center spot, and that is going to be our offseason. So we've done everything possible, I think, to put the Washington Wizards in a good position to potentially make the playoffs this next season. At this point, we got to load a 2026 draft class, and we're getting to the point where obviously that may not even be here. Maybe it's here with this draft. I mean, one of these drafts, I feel like one time gave me a duplicate of Wembanyama and Scoot, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Let's see if that's the case here. So mock drafts. Yeah, see, so I need to get rid of this draft class. That is not what I want. So I'm assuming he just has not obviously, you know, worked on this draft class, which is, you know, obviously fair because, you know, 2K23 is still relatively new. So I got to get rid of that. But other than that, if we take a look at the rotation, we got Wallace. I'm just going to run a 9-man rotation as well. We got Wallace, Johnny Davis, Danny Avdija, Paulo Banchero, James Wiseman, Mitchell Robinson, Corey Kispert, Jaden Hardy, and Max Christie. So really liking this rotation. I think this team is ready to make the playoffs. I love the addition of Paulo Banchero, and then you got James Wiseman as well. Wallace, Johnny Davis. Let's go make the postseason, hopefully. With the new addition of Paulo Banchero, he goes on and wins most improved player here in DC. 27 and 11, shooting 50, 83 and 40% shooting splits. And then MVP goes to Garland, averaging 37, which I had to show that because that's insane. But all via first team, Paulo Banchero making it. So it looks like the trade was well worth it. I'm so glad that we got him. And we also turned in a second seed season. So we are here. We are ready to compete, and we are ready to see what we can do here. And Johnny Davis averaging 18 next to him is also really awesome. Wallace averaging 14. Wiseman with 14, and then 14 from Danny Avdija. So I'm really happy with the roster we have put together here. Another trade could be necessary if things don't go too well in the playoffs here, but hopefully we can have like an Eastern Conference Finals appearance at the very least. So we get to play the Chicago Bulls in this first one. So let's go take a look at their roster, see what they're looking like if I can get to it. So we got Kobe White still here, Zach LaVine, RJ Barrett, Drummond, Isaac Okoro. It's an interesting roster. Honestly, for some reason, I wouldn't be surprised if they upset me here and we do beat them in 7. That was closer than I wanted to be, but Cleveland goes down to the Charlotte Hornets. So the fact that we don't even have to deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think, is a crazy sign. Oh, they have Giannis. Oh, that's why. They have Wembanyama and Giannis. Okay. So Charlotte got something going. So I don't even know if we beat the Hornets. I'm about to say, the fact that we don't have to deal with Garland and Mobley is amazing, but we get to deal with Giannis, Wembanyama, and LaMelo instead. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I love my chances here at beating the Hornets, but anything is possible. Paulo Banchero has been great. We're going to run an 8-man rotation just to be on the safe side. Let's go, man. Game 1. We're up 1-0. We win by 15, 38-8 from Paulo. So if Paulo can take down these guys, bro, no way. 2-1, okay. 2-2. Yeah, it's about to turn around, isn't it? All right, we got to go simcast game 5. This is in DC. This would be crazy if we could beat the Hornets. This is a crazy good big 3 that the Hornets have. Giannis, LaMelo. The length on that team is crazy, but we are turning in a good... We're giving them problems, and they are giving us problems too, but we do win game 5. So if we can win game 6 and go to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm going to be honestly I'm going to feel super accomplished because, like I said, this team on paper, you're looking at the Charlotte Hornets, they look scary. And if we could beat them here in 6, that is going to go a long way, but it's going to be a back and forth game. But we have the lead for now. If we can hang on, we're moving on, and we hang on. The fact that Paulo Banchero was able to beat that team just shows a lot. So we have to come out here and we get to play the team that we made that trade with, which is even more amazing. So Vucevic ends up back in Orlando, which is interesting. That Franz Wagner, Thompson, Lonzo, Wendell Carter. I mean, we just beat that Hornets squad. Wembanyama, Giannis, LaMelo. That big three just went down to this team. So if we lose to the Magic, I'm going to be super disappointed. Well, let's go. Game 1, we're down 1-0. We lose badly. Game 2, we even it up, though. We get our revenge. Game 3, we're up 2-1. Go up 3-1. Come on, let's go. Beat them in 5. We are in the NBA Finals. Let's go. And now we get to play the Thunder, which, man, the Thunder are one of those teams that are so hard to beat. But we get Chet versus Paulo Banchero, the number 1 and number 2 overall pick to end off the video. What more could you want here? And then obviously James Wiseman being a former number 2 overall pick himself, or was it 3? 2 or 3? I can't remember. I think it was 2, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 2. There we go. So here we go. Lock it in. Game 1, we're down 1-0. Game 2, we're down 2-0. Game 3, can we even it up? Nope, down 3-1. Okay, it is possible to come back from 3-1 deficit. I'm not giving up just yet. But the fact that we took down that Hornets team, man, I'm just like feeling like we should win this. We just beat Giannis, Wembanyama, and LaMelo, and we're going to lose to the Thunder, bro. The Thunder, I mean, this year, man, it has been so hard to win championships in this damn game, man. The teams in this simulation are just so OP. Like, what can you do? The Thunder go on to win the championship. Super disappointed that we didn't win there. I got to go apply a damn update as well. But boys, do I run it back another year? I don't know, man. Yeah, I feel like I got to. I'll run it one more year, but that's it. After that, I can't go any further. So we'll go one more year. And if it doesn't happen, it just can't happen. So at the end of this final season, we went 65-17. Paulo Banchero, once again, All-NBA first team, averaging 27. So if it can't be done this year, then it's just simply not happening, boys. So we had 25 from Wallace, who has stepped up big time to an 87 overall, 20 from Johnny Davis, 15 from Avdia, 14 from Wiseman, and 27 from Paulo Banchero, as we know. So here we go, man. Get the Atlanta Hawks in round 1. It's the 8th seed. I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie to you, but we're going to simulate current round, and we're going to hope for the best. We do beat them in 5, and now we get the Charlotte Hornets. So we beat this team last year. Honestly, I was really surprised we were able to do that. They have added Colin Sexton now, unless if they had him last year and I just didn't notice, but let's see if we beat them again, and we are going to beat them again. I'm honestly really intimidated by that big three, but we've taken care of them, and so far, so good. We've only lost 1 game, but now we get to play the Magic, who gave us some problems last year. So my current round, and up 3-0, we blow a... Dude, you just can't make it up, man. It's just winning a championship this year for me is impossible, I guess, bro. I don't know, man. The luck I get is crazy, but I'm going to end it there, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Did the best I could. Thought this was a fun video. I definitely need to get Paulo Banchero more because he's super good. But thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.